God Almighty. Hallelujah. So we're going to proceed with service. Before we get started with the Hebrew word of the week, I do want to say we just came off a fast. And I'm not one to fast a whole lot. I'll be the first to admit. But that was an experience for me. That was really an experience. And to be honest with you, once I did eat yesterday, I felt like I could have did without it. I literally felt like that it was a waste of me eating, and that I actually could have continued the fast longer. So I think I'm gonna do another fast soon, and I encourage everybody to do so too. Hallelujah. Because it was only hard in the beginning, and I tried because I didn't do any. I think the first 2 days I didn't do any liquids or any food, so I did like absolutely nothing. And when I did do liquids, it was just like, oh my goodness, for real, this is it. And so I do encourage everyone because it tells you a lot about yourself, but literally you go from a physical energy to a spiritual energy. And I don't know how I felt like typically through one day of eating, you can say, man, I went 9 hours, I didn't eat, and your stomach growling and everything else. Well, to go 3 days and your stomach not even growling, and technically you're not even hungry, you more so just got urges for tastes of things. Does that make sense? And so it was more like, and then I had this taste for something, and then when I got it, it was just like, I could have did without it. So I just encourage everyone, if you haven't fasted in a while, to do it again. Again, it is something that it cleans you, not only the physical side, but the spiritual side of it is just, literally opens your eyes up to things that you really couldn't see. And that goes for everybody. I really encourage everybody to do it again. If you haven't fasted ever, I encourage you to do it. And to persevere and to continue. It's a testing of our faith. Amunah is something that we support our doing by what we say. Wow. So we say we trust Him, but we need to show Him that we trust Him. And we show Him with our amunah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So I'm going to give a Hebrew word of the week. The Hebrew word of the week is actually from the word sacrifice. We know that Yahusha, what some people call Jesus or Christ, the Messiah, our Mashiach, that He was our sacrifice. But Scripture also tells us to be a sacrifice. Because what we do to show that we are our Father's children, we have to mirror what He does. We have to mimic what He does. Everything that He does, that Yahusha did or Yah has done, God has done, that He does it really to set the example for what we do. When He rested on the Sabbath, He simply was setting the example. Did He need to do it? Of course He didn't. He's almighty. Right? It says that He doesn't need rest, but He did it to set the example. That He set the standard for us to follow, then we set the standard so the nations can follow. Hallelujah? So sacrifice. So in Strong's H2077, it is Zebach. Someone say Zebach. 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 So Zebach, this is the definition that it gives. It gives a sacrifice, and the sacrifice can be what they say the victim. That's kind of funny. Or the act. So it can be referring to the act itself or the person. Or, it would be the animal. But the victim or the person, and then the act itself. It also says it is a slaughtering. It is a killing of something. So many of us that was on the fast, we acted it was a type of a sacrifice, whether you know it or not. You can go back for 1 second. So and also the flesh of an animal, but in this case, we're talking about the flesh of us. And then also, it is considered an offering unto Yah. Hallelujah. You can go to the next. So the word Zebach actually comes from the word Zebach. It's only one down from it, so it's 2076. It means to slaughter for sacrifice, to kill, to offer, or to slay. So I know in the urban context, slay means the fashion sense, but not in that sense. All right, we go to the next. So the definition of a sacrifice is this. This is extremely important. It is an act of giving up something that is valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or more worthy. Okay? So it's not saying what you're giving up doesn't have value. It's just saying what I'm giving up is not as important or worthy as this other thing. Hallelujah? So it is three letters that consist of Zebach or Zebach. So this is one of my earlier ones. I did it from left to right, but it's typically right to left. But it's Zion, Bet, and Het. Some people say Chet or Het. All right? You go to the next. So Zion, this is the 7th letter. 17. And this stands for food. It stands for a sword. It is a weapon. It also means to cut. You can leave it there for 1 second. So when you look at all of this right here, that stands for the word itself. Zion stands for the word. Right. Think about what the word does. It nourishes us. But it is a weapon. It is also a weapon, right? That we can use, sharper than any two-edged sword. And also, it's meant to cut. So you ask yourself, how is one thing meant to feed, but also to cut? Come on. So if the word isn't doing nothing for you, there's nothing wrong with the word. There's something wrong with you. Because it's meant to do one of those two things. It's either going to feed you and nourish you, and it's going to cut away. Some things don't hurt. When you read the word, and you say, "Dang, I didn't supposed to be eating bacon." I'm serious. This is true. It's going to cut. It's going to hurt in some ways. But it's not just to cut as in to hurt. It's to cut away what's not needed. Right? So Zion. So that's the first part of sacrifice. So in Jeremiah 15 and 16, it says this: "Your words were found, and I did eat them. And your word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of my heart. For I am called by your name, and Yahuwah Elohim of hosts." Also, if you can, write down these other 3 scriptures. It's Deuteronomy 8:3, Matthew 4:4, and also Luke 4:4, that it refers to that. That it refers to the Zion. But look at the characteristics that I just kind of highlighted, meaning to eat in the Word. And also, the Word is supposed to help us to grow. If we read the Word and we just the same old person we were 2 days ago, a week ago, 5 months ago, 2 years ago, then again, there's nothing wrong with the Word itself. It's something wrong with the receiver. What is it? How you receive is what you perceive. So also for Zion, Ephesians 6 and 17 says to take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Ruach, which is the word of Yahuwah. So it's saying in this, it's showing you in this sense how it's a weapon. And then also Hebrew 4:12. For the word of Yahuwah is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even dividing asunder the soul and the ruach, and the joints and the marrow, and it is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. So again, it's cutting away at that heart. Remember, he said that the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And this is just something interesting that I wanted to put in. So the word Zion is just broken down to those three letters. And it's Zion, Yod, and Nun. So when you put it together, it has the value of 67. Now, that's the same exact value of the word Binah. Somebody say Binah. Binah means to literally understand. Because what good is the word if I don't understand it? So that's why we really do need the Ruach HaKodesh, because it says it's to teach us all things and bring to remembrance, including his word. So Binah comes from the root word bin, which means between. So understanding and in between. So it implies the ability to distinguish the real from the unreal, rightly dividing the word of truth. Understanding does come from rightly dividing the word of truth, which is 2 Timothy 2:15. Also, Proverbs 9 and 10. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. That's that word binah. Understanding. Proverbs 2 and 6. For Yahuwah gives wisdom. Out of his mouth, every word that proceeded out of his mouth, comes knowledge and understanding. So again, there's nothing wrong with the words. There's something wrong with the ears. There's something wrong with the heart. And then also, Proverbs 2 and 2 reminds us that we must incline our ear unto wisdom and apply our heart to understanding. So it's technically not a hearing issue, it's a heart issue. So if you are standing with this broken heart, this heart that you have relied on people so much and not relied on Yah, that's again when you got that Kalal or Kodesh. The closer you are to people, the closer you are to Kalal. The closer you are to Yah, the closer you are to being Kodesh. The next one is Beit, or Bet, some people say. So this represents the body. This represents the house, the household, or family. It also represents what's inside you. The inside or within. So it represents the body or house. And that's literally where the real you dwells. So what I mean by the real you is, don't do something and then say, well, that just wasn't me. No, it was you. Because that's where the real you dwells, right? And you have control of what you do. So Romans 12:1 says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that you present your bodies, your bet, as a living sacrifice, as a living Zebach, Kodesh, and acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. So really, the real sacrifice starts on the inside. It's not you offering your time to someone. It starts with you making a decision to offer your time to do something. So it always starts from the inside. Notice else it says that it needs to be Kodesh, or set apart for his purpose. Right? Not just set apart, but it also got to be acceptable for him. So you can say that I'm doing everything, I'm following the law, statutes, and commandments, and I'm setting myself apart. But what about you doing it with this grudging attitude? You go another feast day. Here come the Feast of the Unleavened. I got to try to change my diet again. You're doing it with this grudging attitude, and you're not doing it with this attitude of saying, wow, I'm glad that y'all is trying to cleanse me. Right? We got to be honest, right? But it got to be acceptable unto him. Which means if I'm willing to offer it, he's still got to be willing to accept it. And he don't have to accept anything, especially if it's halal, if it's common, if it's defiled, if it's profane, right? If it's broken. And also this one is chet or het. Now this shows like a fence. A fence is meant to divide something. It's meant to protect. It's meant to keep something out or something in. So it's meant to separate or to cut off and also to protect. So Aleph, Bet, Gamel, Aleph, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Het. It's the 8th letter. So we know that 8 represents a new beginning. It represents grace. But this right here, it says it represents the new beginning and grace. And what you truly choose to be a living sacrifice, you no longer pursue your own desires, your own goals, your own will, none of that. Right? Because when you truly submit to him, you're saying, whatever you decide for my life from this point on, have your way. If you're not saying it that way, then again, it's not acceptable for him. Remember, he said to love me with all of your heart, and all of your soul, and all of your might. The root is all. He wants it all. So if we're only willing to give him this little bit or half, or we say we go, I'm going to do half your way and I'm going to keep half over here, then it ain't no true sacrifice. And if it is, just keep the whole yourself. Because he don't want part of it. Right? So Zebach, as in a sacrifice, means to cut the body and to separate it. That's just a simple meaning. To cut, that's that Zion. The body, that's the bait. And separate is the het. So to cut the body and to separate it. That is a sacrifice. But the spiritual meaning of it means to use the word to cut from within, to expose your heart, and to separate the righteous from the wicked. And also, and then this is the het, to protect you from you. Because you can blame people all you want that you're not holy, or you're not Kodesh. But it's not people. It's you. Because if you have your own body, then you're in charge of what you do. What you eat, what you don't eat, what you say, what you don't say, what you look at, what you don't look at, what you listen to, what you don't listen to. You in charge of all of that. So it's really not to protect you from anything, not Hasatan, not the boogeyman, not the devil, but it's literally to protect you from you. So that's why it's important for us to present our bodies as a living sacrifice and to be Kodesh. And Kodesh literally means to be prepared. Not to just be set apart to be used, but to prepare it to be used. Because think about it. What's the use of being Kodesh or holy or set apart just to be set apart? Think about it even in a food sense. If I set some food aside and I just set it aside and it's just sitting there, it's going to go bad. Hallelujah. That would do it for the Hebrew word of the week, Zebach.
Great Awakening announcements. Mishpacha class. Great Awakening is open to anyone who believes Yah is leading them to become a part of our Mishpacha. We don't do membership, we do family, Mishpacha. Save the membership to gyms and towing services and become a part of our assemblies, Mishpacha. We believe if Yah has called you to an assembly, He has called you to be a part of a family. Family allows you to do more than just sit and hear the messages. Family gets you active, working together with the rest of the assembly of believers. We are looking for family, Mishpacha, willing to share their time, talents, gifts, and abilities to help build the kingdom of Yahuwah. Classes take place every third Sunday at 10 a.m. Sabbath Academy. Sabbath Academy is every week at 10 a.m. before Sabbath Worship Academy. Sabbath Academy is an in-depth, interactive study of Dr. Ken's lessons and the Hebraic faith taught by the Mores of Great Awakening. Participants will have access to all of Dr. Ken's notes and teachings, learn techniques as to how to commit to the scriptures and teach to memory, and learn how to share and defend the faith as apologists. Classes take place every Sabbath at 10 a.m. right before the weekly Sabbath. Hebrew Academy. Want to be awakened to the truth of the scriptures? Are you curious about the Hebrew faith? Want to be trained for ministry? Ever get the sense that there's something more to or lacking in the Christian faith? Want to know how to defend the faith against centuries of lies told in Christianity? Take a seminar to learn more, or take classes to earn a certificate. Over 40 courses offered in a classroom setting and or online. Take classes at your own pace. Seminar/classes taught by renowned scholars in the Hebrew faith. Go to www.thehaod.org.
Ma shlomcha. Ma shlomcha. Shalom, Ima.
Shalom, how are the classes going?
Yofi.
Yo, what?
Yofi. It means beautiful. I'm learning a lot about business, Hebrew culture, Hebrew language, and history. It's so cool. I feel like I'm learning a lot of things I never knew before. And best of all, the teachers make it really fun.
Wow, we should tell everyone.
Oh, I already started telling them. I told Xavier, Zay, Shelly, Teresa.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's Yofi.
Don't miss out on this learning experience. Lions Whelp Hebrew Academy for Children. Join today. Lions Whelp Hebrew Academy for Kids. Do you want your children to know their history beyond 1619? Are you tired of the miseducation of the American school system? Are you looking for a Hebrew curriculum for your homeschool child? The Online Hebrew Academy for Kids is the perfect alternative. The Online Hebrew Academy, powered by Zoom and Moodle LMS, offers a virtual Hebraic education experience with live classes and interactive teaching. Students from age 15 to 17 are welcome in our virtual classrooms, where warm and experienced teachers provide an excellent Hebraic education, all in the comfort of your own home. For more information or to register, go to www.thehaod.org. Great Awakening Missions Team. The Great Awakening has created a missions team under the direction of Maura Gail McGee to go to the nations with great news. The mission team is a humanitarian evangelistic team of the Great Awakening that consists of volunteers from the Hebraic community who travel the globe to provide medical care, health education, biblical heritage, humanitarian assistance to people in need, and to share the gospel with the dispersed of Israel. Do you have a heart for mission? Do you want to join a team that's sole mission is to develop strategies and plans to carry the gospel and awake the dispersed in other countries? If you are interested in joining the missions team of the Great Awakening, please reach out to Maura Gail McGee by emailing her at missions.greatawakening400@gmail.com. If you would like to donate, you can donate one time or monthly via PayPal. The average donation is about $20 per month and will be deducted out of your PayPal account or debit/credit card. You will be asked to authorize PayPal to play Great Awakening each month. If you want to donate one time or monthly, please go to www.greathebrewawakening.org or PayPal at www.greatawakening400@gmail.com. Hebrew tract/trifold material. The Great Awakening in Hebrews to Negroes developed tracts and trifold brochures to be distributed, explaining to families and friends their true heritage that is found within the pages of the scriptures. We have developed a trifold tract that will help you share the awakening with your family, friends, or just a common stranger. This tract includes the salvation of Israel, the law, Sabbath observance, and other truths with those who you come in contact with. We also have developed a trifold brochure that will help you explain Hebrew heritage to those who you meet. This trifold includes DNA, language and traditions, customs, and scriptures proving that the Bantus Negroes are the descendants of the people of the book. If you are interested in any one of these publications, please see one of the ushers. Tune in to Let's Talk About It Moray's Roundtable, presented by the Great Hebrew Awakening, Hebrews to Negro International, and the family of the Great Awakening Assemblies every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. EST on Facebook and YouTube. The panel of Moray's broadcast live, spotlighting doctrinal issues, correcting miseducation, exposing false doctrines, unveiling the truth, awakening the nations, unlocking the Torah, shedding light on the scriptures, combining spirit with true perspectives with live and experienced Morays from the family of Great Awakening Assemblies in the United States and Bahamas. Torah Life Application Bible Study. Great Awakening Torah Application Bible Study starts tomorrow night and every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Until we secure a location and or people open up their homes, we will do Zoom. The Zoom info is meeting ID 691-233-6772. If you need any help getting on Zoom, Maura Tawana will help. Leadership and Serving Training. Do you plan on serving or becoming a leader in the Great Awakening Detroit East? We will begin the Leadership and Helps Ministry training on Sundays, January 17th, 24th, 31st, and February 7th, 2021 from 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. via Zoom. During this 4-week course developed and taught by Pastor Ken, Maura Tawana, Moray James, and Moray Benjamin Sherrill, you will discover the biblical plan for functioning in the Helps Ministry. You will learn what it means to be a servant and how to better serve in the vision of this assembly. Furthermore, you will learn the principle and character of a leader, protocol, and how a true Hebraic and prophetic assembly operates, and much more. Each class will be 2 hours in duration with food and refreshments breaks. Upon completion of this training, you will be assigned to a department or ministry based on the call of Yah on your life, strengths, skills, abilities, and assessed need for the season in the Assembly of Great Awakening. Street Ministry Training. Want to be trained to share the Basora, good news, with the masses of the streets? Join us every Sabbath at 10 a.m. for training. The Street Ministry team will undertake the unbelieving individuals and the mainstream worldview with the introduction of the Hebrew Messiah, the problem of sin, following laws and commandments, and a redemptive love of Yah. Rebuilding praise team/musicians. Great Awakening is looking to rebuild its praise team and musician/band. If anyone would like to join the praise team or know some musicians who would like to play for Great Awakening, please see Akoti Demetria Bradford. Bereaved Marriage Ministry. Are you looking to reconnect, repair, rekindle, and restore your marriage? Join the Great Awakening Bereaved Marriage Ministry, a monthly fellowship for married and engaged couples every 3rd Saturday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Improve your communication, resolve conflict, and learn the biblical roles as ish/isha. All couples must register at www.greathebrewawakening.org to receive the Zoom ID and password. National Singles Ministry. Are you awakened, single, and looking for fellowship and accountability? Join the Great Awakening Singles Ministry, a monthly fellowship for awakened singles. The Singles Ministry includes interactive sessions, monthly speakers, activities, fellowship, and panel discussions. All interested singles must register at www.greathebrewAwakening.org to receive a Zoom ID and password. National Youth Ministry. The Great Awakening has started a national youth ministry to minister to awakened youth around the country, led by Morey Pat Brown, Morey Marcus Gooden, and Yoel Ben Israel. The National Youth Ministry connects youth to much-needed resources, providing an environment to display skills and offers a safe place to laugh, cry, worship, play, and pray together. The NIM provides an opportunity for the youth to see the Basora, gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach, lived out daily by their peers. For more information, please go to www.greathebrewawakening.org. More Roundtable. The Great Awakening presents the More Roundtable, a national online platform that increases awareness, knowledge, appreciation for issues unique to women who have discovered their Hebraic roots. The More Roundtable is designed to educate viewers on trends and issues related to the rapidly growing Hebrew community. Panelists include Maura Tawana, Dr. Sandra Laws, Elisha Demisi, Kayla Body, Kelly Frederick, Rita Stallworth, and more. The More Roundtable debut will be in mid-January. Hebrews, Hebrew Brothers, Real Men Talk. The Great Awakening Hebrews to Negroes International presents Hebrews, Hebrew Brothers, Real Men Talk, a professional yet candid forum broadcast which appeals to both millennials and all generations, coming on alternated Mondays of the More Roundtable night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting in September with More Rico Say, More Ryan Robertson, More K. Britton Cook, More Roderick Frederick, More Will Johnson, Morey Pratt Brown, and Morey Jesse Lassier. Voices of Zakane. The Great Awakening Hebrews to Negroes International presents Voices of Zakane, where elders of the Great Awakening become the voice of balance and reason to the Israelite community and the world at large, by providing instruction by way of Torah and wisdom, exhort and feed the flock every other Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with Elder Eddie Stallworth, Dr. Michael Laws, Elder Maurice Wilson, Elder Clarence Jones, Elder Jimmy Sauls, and Elder Paul Bateman. Passover 2021 Gatherings, March 26 to the 28th, 2021, Indianapolis. In accordance with the scriptures, Great Awakening Assemblies, in conjunction with the Great Awakening Assembly Indiana, is hosting a Passover Weekend Experience service March 26 to 28th, 2021. This won't be an ordinary Passover experience. There will be messages from speakers and familiar Hebrew songs and all the important elements, but there will be no hybrid Seder meal in which you and your family have the opportunity to participate. We will have thought-provoking questions, relevant discussions, fellowship, music, and excellent teachings. Weeping Daughters of Rachel Prayer Team. The Weeping Daughter of Rachel's Prayer Team, led by Maura Tawana, is an initiative of the Great Awakening, whose objective is to gather women worldwide to pray, intercede, and cry out against social, physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual issues concerning scattered Israel in accordance with the scripture. The Weeping Daughters of Rachel Prayer Team exists to pray for healing and deliverance for the dispersed, to prevent the conditions that augment depravity, restore its heritage, obedience, and relationship with Yah, and bring justice to the weak and vulnerable. For more information or to sign up, go to www.greathebrewAwakening.org. Corporate Fasting. Join the Great Awakening for 3 days of fasting and prayer. The fast will begin Tuesday night at 6 p.m., January 12th, and end Friday at 6 p.m., January 15th. The first night focus is reserved for Teshuvah and forgiveness. In the other 2 days, the focus will be on hearing from Yah, end-time preparation, healing and deliverance, and discerning the historical threads and spiritual themes behind today's current events.